It's the Two Gems Podcast.
Hey. Oh my. What did you do? You tried to fix it?
Yes. So we hit record and then I immediately proceeded to spill coffee on my shirt.
One of your favorite shirts.
It's
That
probably-
makes a difference.
What?
If it's your favorite shirt or not.
Yeah. I love this shirt. So this shirt comes from Elwood Clothing.
Shout out to Elwood.
And I recently, look at all these peripherals I have around. I recently actually replaced my entire wardrobe with Elwood Clothing. A sweater, also Elwood. Is this sponsored? No. It should be though. Yeah, I like Elwood because they have the distressed collars on them. Mm-hmm. They have the distressed collars. Like everything that they do has like a bit of like a vintage aesthetic to it. And like all the colors are kind of like washed out, muted, and like when you go to the hoodies, like it's the same thing, like kind of distressed around the hoods and the like exposed stitching and everything.
I'm actually a firm believer in if you like something, buy more of it. However, I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, but I clean out my closet very often, more than the average. So I think that makes me not buy very expensive things because I know that I just get over them. Like, it's commendable. My mom still has pieces in her closet that she's had for like 40 years. And I'm like, how? I wear something for one season. I'm like, meh, I'm kind of over it. And so I'm very happy to give it to people that could use it and that get to love it all over again. But I don't think I own anything in my closet that is extremely pricey, except for 2 sweaters from Free People, the Ruby jackets. I have one in beige and one in green, and I find I don't even grab for them anymore.
You're over them?
Well, like I'll wear it, but like when I first got
I like
it,
those sweaters.
No, me too, but I don't know.
Is that the one that I started wearing? Yeah, I did, didn't I? The green one? Or they like...
You actually wore it to another podcast. Did you
I?
not? I'm like, you're wearing my jacket.
What did I wear it to? Was it...
The one with Stroby, I think.
Oh, the Uncharted one.
I'm almost positive you wore my jacket. It looked good on you.
Did I? Is that what I wore that day?
Do you want it in your closet?
Maybe. Maybe I do.
I was just thinking about, because titty mugs.
Yeah, I'm over here drinking out of a booby mug.
And then I was thinking about how in
I love
Florida.
boobs.
I was thinking about how in Florida I had my boobs out like the whole time.
Okay.
And you said to me, you're like, you mean you just like had them out? And I'm like, yeah. So I went to Florida with my friend Daphne and Amanda. Daphne, she's my best friend. Amanda, love her.
You're saying this like she doesn't come up every episode.
I know. Anyway, forget Daphne. Move along. Amanda, who I love, but I didn't know very well. And we spent some time together and it was great. But like, I sleep in grannies and no top. And obviously I'm getting up to pee in the middle of the night and stuff. I'm changing. Like, my tits are out the whole time.
Your
and
big old
Amanda's
titties.
like, there's got to be one. She's like, there's always one in the group. I'm like, there sure is. But then I started thinking, like for I think women, maybe it's more natural to just like free the tits. But like, have your friends ever seen you naked?
Well,
It's a weird thing, but
No.
have they? And like
What, seen my penis?
yeah, I guess that's all you got since nipples are free for men.
I'll never understand that.
It's so weird to me.
What?
What won't you understand?
What won't you understand? What did you just say was so weird?
I just think it's weird.
I want to
that,
hear
like,
it out of your mouth first.
Well, like, why can't the tits just be out?
Are you kidding me?
Well, I know they're like sexualized and I get it, but it's like, how come you guys get to have your nips out all the time? Like, it's no big deal.
Because no one gives a fuck about our nipples.
Well, maybe some do.
No, they don't. That's the whole thing. When you hear all these women talking about free the nipple and all this shit, it's like, okay, then get your nipples out then. Walk around with your boobs out. Try it. See what happens. There will be vultures on those things.
Yeah.
They're sacred. No one cares about men's boobs and nipples and, or should I say the areola. No one cares.
Be specific, Matt. Aerial or nipple. So have your friends seen you naked?
One time.
In Toronto, right?
It was so funny. Oh
Matt
my God.
still remembered. Go ahead. You want to tell it?
I mean, there's really not much to say. We were all in Toronto. Okay, I gotta get these stupid mini eggs on my face.
They're not stupid. They're delicious.
The mini eggs?
They're still
Don't
good.
like them.
The taste is still there.
No, the chocolate to candy ratio's off. I don't like it. I like more chocolate than candy.
Okay.
So myself and a bunch of my friends, we were actually up in Toronto for the Pat Stay versus Disaster battle in 2014. I remember that because that was right when Nikki and I had split up.
I actually saw a photo of you at breakfast with your friends. And you were such a hottie in that picture. Do you know the picture I'm talking about?
I know the picture.
The lighting was great.
It's not even a good photo of me.
Yes, it is. You looked great.
Did I?
Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
Anyway, so it was a 2 or 3 day event. It was a 2 or 3 days. Anyway, it was amazing. Honestly, it was one of the greatest weekends of my entire life. I don't know if any of them will ever top it as far as like fun with friends.
And
with friends.
You really needed that weekend.
Yes, I had just gotten out of a bad breakup and blah, blah, blah.
But it just happened right after the breakup.
It was probably maybe 3 weeks later or something like that. Like I kind of still thought we were going to get back together, but I was still like having fun in Toronto and whatever.
Right.
But
wait a minute. At that point, you thought you would still get back together?
Nikki and I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you were in Toronto, you're like, we're just in an argument.
Yeah, I think mostly I would probably say I did. I mean, we're thinking back 10 years now, but yeah, I think I thought that we'd probably end up back there. At this point, I didn't know about everything.
Right.
I didn't know everything yet.
Right.
It was just kind of like we're in a breakup phase, which was weird, but okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so we were at this event, and like I said, I don't know if in my life I will ever top that weekend as far as fun with friends. I got on an airplane with 4 of my best friends. So it was 5 of us. We took porter, so they'll feed you booze on porter flights. Mm-hmm. So here we are, I don't even know, 9 a.m, pounding back Heinekens on a porter flight up to Toronto, and we just got lit all weekend, and it was so much fun. And it would almost be impossible to do it now. We all have so many kids and bills and life and jobs and everything, but that window in time was all of us did it, and we all got away for a whole weekend together and just let loose and bought new shoes and went shopping and went to cool little micro breweries and shit. We just oh my god, it was the best time of my life. It was amazing.
I was just going to interject and say, I do think that you could try and organize that again. I know you have kids and I know you have lives, but organize it.
Okay, sure, but even then, we were still youthful then.
You could still do fun
I don't
stuff.
think you understand, Sheridan. We were up all night, every night, and just did a bender for 3 days. I don't have that in me anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
I drink for one night, and I'm in a coma for 2 months.
Oh, I have 2 drinks, and I'm hungover for a week.
No, I'm at the stage in life where when I think about booze, I get a hangover, like a non-drinking hangover just from thinking about the hangover. So my birthday's coming up in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I'm hungover already.
You have to really, at this age, decide if it's worth it or not.
Yeah,
to have that hangover.
Yeah.
Because it comes in so hot and so heavy in all sorts of ways. You're tired. You feel like shit. You have the shits. You have kids. They're annoying. It's crazy when you're hungover and you're a parent.
Yeah.
And you're, older.
It's the parenting that wrecks it. Having responsibilities.
Yeah.
Because you think last year when you and I went down Dominican, we were going pretty hard in the paint on the bevies on that trip. Mm-hmm. And it didn't really matter. You just get up the next day and just
lie in the sun
out.
and
it's
sweat it out. Yeah.
Mama,
no, I know.
I need to poop. You wipe my bum. Oh my God.
I know.
But
so back to your penis being revealed.
So anyway, so I'm in Toronto. It's I don't even know. I want to say this was night 2 maybe, and we're already my cheeks hurt from laughing so hard. It was just basically just so much laughing. You know when you watch a comedy at home and you have one person with you and it's kind of funny, but then you go to a movie theater and watch a comedy and everyone's laughing and or when we went to go see Kevin Hart a couple weeks ago, it's more funny because there's everyone laughing around you. It's the energy in the whole room is up there. So we're at this hotel room having pre-drinks before we head down to the battles at the Queen something. I forget what it was called. And we're up there drinking, and I remember Ryan went to the front desk for something, so he wasn't in the room. So who the hell would have been in the room? Was Sean there maybe even too? Anyway, I don't even know. We were up in the room. I just know Ryan wasn't in the room because he came into the aftermath of it. And we were up in there having some drinks and had 50 Cent pumping through the speakers and shit hanging out. And Jeff goes to pants me. And when he went to go pants me, my boxers came off too. too. And so I'm standing there completely naked, literally like, and I was wearing my King of the Dot shirt, and the stupid.
So you just see the
no, but here's the problem: when the shirts that they were selling at the venue were too fucking small. no, so like I bought an XL,
like
but the
a
thing
crop
fit like a medium. No, it was like literally like a crop top.
I'm trying to. I have a perfect visual.
No,
of
like
you crop top dick out.
Oh my. No, like right now, if it happened right now, like my t-shirts are long enough, there'd probably be like, yeah, like a little bit of coverage.
Right.
I was basically wearing a girdle in the corner of the room with my pants down. So I just remember Jeff grabbed me from behind, pulled my pants down, whole penis out. Like, no time to prep it or anything, right?
Nothing.
Thing's just like a cold room, like just a stupid looking dick. And I just remember Dan sitting there on the couch and his eyes lit. He was like, what the? And then Ryan came like stumbling into the room like 20 seconds after it happened. And like people are still on the floor laughing. Like it was just complete pandemonium. Ryan's like, what the hell did I just miss? Well, Matt's dick came out.
Penises are so interesting to me.
They are. They're quite interesting.
They actually are. Which sounds crazy, but like I find anatomy just in general because everything is so different, right? And I think when you're like younger and maybe you see other people naked for whatever reason,
God.
whether you're in like a change room or whatever, and you just like glance, or even if you see it in whatever. I don't know how you would come across a naked body at a young age, but you could. And you kind of compare and you're like, fuck, like I just feel like, and I feel like penises, like having a penis could be very stressful.
It is. It is a stressful thing.
I could see that.
Absolutely. It's,
And, like-
it's a weird thing because right down to like, you know, like in nature, like the lions with the biggest dicks are the ones that get all the girls. It's the same thing. It's like that right through the entire animal kingdom.
Right.
Horses with their big dicks, the birds, even the birds there's some bird that has a big dick and like it gets all the girls and everything.
Right.
It's like, it's a thing. Anyway,
well,
probably a touchy subject, but
Well, no, but I was going to say, like, as a man, like, I obviously can't relate. I'm a woman, I have a vagina. But I could imagine, like, if you had a penis that, like, you were perhaps, like, self-conscious about, or, like, why is that funny to you? Or, like, maybe, like, a grower, not a shower. Like, oh, my God, I just remember on the bed. And I flicked it. Do you remember that? Oh, Matt doesn't even want to talk about the cereal.
I can't. What are we talking about? What is it?
Remember when I was like,
It was not my best day. Okay.
no, I was just gonna say some people are big growers versus showers too. Like there's just so much.
I'm a straight grower.
You are
Guinness World Record growth amount.
Oh my God! But also, I can't imagine having a huge dick and it just sitting by your leg all day every day. It'd be so uncomfortable. So
Yeah. I can't imagine because I don't sit there with a gigantic hammer laying on my leg all day.
I find penises fascinating, and I've always wondered, I guess, as a man, like if you had like a small penis or whatever, that you'd be like insecure about it or self-conscious. And what I find so funny is like just because you have a big dick doesn't mean you know what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak on all of my past experiences, but I can say that from experience. And I think that not all men.
Nice face while you're saying.
Not all men, but I think men sometimes that have big dicks just assume like they're good now. You know what I mean? They don't even need to put in all the work necessarily. Whereas the ones that like don't have perhaps such a big hammer are like so much better at the other stuff. Do you know what I mean? And like fun fact,
God.
Women don't care just about penetration. There's a whole lot more to it.
Well, okay. Yes. Okay. How did we even end up into this vortex of penis talk?
We are now sex people.
It's
That's our new show.
But it is, and it's a really funny thing. And oh my God, I wish I had 10 seconds to actually think about this. But like,
take your time. Just have a little lull. Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking like women, it's a thing in TV, in movies, in comedy, in everything where like
in my book
size matters. It's like a thing, and women openly joke about this.
Right.
24/7.
Right.
It's like a thing in the lexicon amongst women that they joke about penis sizes. And like What was that show you were watching like a year ago where the guy came out and like it showed his dick on TV and the thing was like the size of like a
Sex Life. It's the biggest dick I've ever seen. Like,
No,
it didn't even make sense.
No, but like then all the girls are on
Yeah.
Facebook and everything, and they're like,
Including
"Oh my
myself.
god, you need to see this luscious piece of meat!" And like it's like, and then every guy that's sitting there with their mediocre
Yeah,
peen
yeah.
in their pants is sitting there looking at this thing like,
At
"Oh
their
my."
girlfriend, like, really?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
glad that's awesome, and it's
Right.
like you could just never have it.
Well, and the thing is, that's it. There's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing.
Right. Well, I mean, I do actually think you can get penis enlargers, but like nobody's really gonna go. Well, maybe people do, but it's not.
What are you talking about, the little penis pump thing?
No, I'm
There's
pretty-
no way that's like Sheridan.
No, but can you not actually get like a surgery to like make your dick bigger? I should Google
What, you
it.
gotta put like a pool tube in or something?
No, but I was gonna say for women get breast implants, they get breast reductions. There's actually like labia surgeries.
There's no way that it would make a good penis.
Did you hear what I just said though? Like for women, there's like they'll get like labia, like there's surgeries to like reconstruct if you don't like your.
Yeah, but
the
it's
way your
probably an
vagina looks.
easier thing to work.
That's
with.
what I'm saying.
How you
though.
gonna make?
But I'm saying
make a
men don't
stick?
even really get the opportunity. So I could. That's not. It's just. I don't know. I don't know why I find the penis so fascinating.
Well, they are fascinating.
They are.
Penises are actually incredible.
God.
They are. They're like a thing. It's like, and they rule the world. It's like this weird thing where like
Yeah.
the penises
Right.
are like a thing, right, in the animal kingdom and everything. It's like.
Forget the penis.
No, but I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
It's like this weird thing where women have no problem talking about this. But if a man is talking about a woman's stuff,
Vagina.
they're like,
It's yeah.
not even just that, just like anything. It's like I said, the show is always just off the cuff, so I never have time to actually like think about things. But I really wish that I had more time to think about this because there's actually an underlying sentiment to this that I wish I could get across. But women should be more conscious about making comments about penises because there's
totally
a
agree.
whole bunch of people out there that wish they had something that they never ever will, and it does I bet you. Man, oh man, I bet you that a lot of the like crazy shit that goes on in this world is insecure men. I think if you're a confident, secure man in this world, you can conquer anything. And I think that comes right down to sex and having a woman in your life, like a good woman beside you or a man, whatever you're into. But being confident. Being an insecure man is one of the worst things that can happen.
Yep.
Because they're so destructive. And that gets right into like incels and all that shit, man. Like if you have good friendships and good relationships and you're confident in who you are as a person, you can do anything.
Well, I also think that too, because I do think that if you're not secure, you can be very easily influenced to do things that you shouldn't be doing, right? Whereas it like, and we can even bring that back to Theo and how we talk often about how he's the kid that likes to go up to everybody else and be a follower and do whatever. And we work on gaining, like building his confidence, him being secure in who he is, and him not having to go and talk to those people and just be comfortable as being Theo, right? Because who knows what kind of trouble he could get into with that, going down that road. And yeah, that could lead up to being an adult and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah. Is that what we're going to talk about? Confidence in people? I think it's so important. And
I was
with our
also going to
kids.
say though that because we're talking about penis, just before we end the penis conversation.
We can talk about peens all episode if you want.
I know you Matt loves talking about penises, but no, I was going to say that
Oh my
women
God.
too, I think, and I think this comes with age as you get more comfortable. Like I think if you and I broke up right now, let's just say hypothetically,
Yeah.
and we went our separate ways, I believe I would be a lot more confident with my next person because I'm older, I'm more mature. I'd like to think that.
Are you not comfortable with me now?
No, of course I'm comfortable with
Oh,
you.
do you mean like confident entering the relationship?
Yeah, like even when you and I first got together, I was still nervous. Like, isn't like my vagina? Like I was thinking about these things. Of course I was, because I think everybody does a little bit, you know?
I would think, yeah.
I would
normal.
think. Because everybody's stuff is so different. Nobody's is the same. So you're always a little bit wondering, I guess, if the person's going to like it or not. Almost always they do. But where was I going with this? What was I saying, Matt?
If you got in a new relationship, you go into it
Yes.
more confident.
And I would. And my body's changed significantly from when you and I first met, right? Like
It has a lot, yeah.
A lot. But I'd like to think that at least with my like anatomy and like my parts, that I'd be like, yeah, they're great. You know what I mean? Whereas perhaps before, because I was more immature and not as confident and whatever, that I might have been more insecure about it, which is kind of ironic because they certainly look different than they did back then, you know? And I think the same for you. Like, I'm not sure if you were wondering.
That's a funny thing. That's actually a funny thing because, and oh my God, I'm probably going to sound like such a douche saying this, but like, you look like, when you and I first got together, you look like you came out of like a test tube. Like, you weren't even real. Like, you look like you were like laser cut out of something and someone was like creating an avatar of the most beautiful woman.
Oh, Matt, that's
No, okay, but then here's what I want to say.
now-
Here's what I want to say. No, here's what I want to say, though. Now,
Right.
you just got a little bit more going on. Like, you have scars from bearing our children and like extra...
You have a belly. I have a belly.
Extra stuff
I have
to
some
hold on
chin
to and
hairs.
stuff.
I got some
Your chin hair.
Side note, Matt and I were driving the other day. I was like, Matt, look, I had a full goatee.
Sharon's like, I have 2 chin hairs. I'm like, you mean a goatee? It's like a pirate over there.
Okay, continue.
No, but so it's funny to think that like by like the douchebag definition of beauty that you were probably more beautiful before.
Right.
Okay, that's not how I feel.
I
I'm
get
just
what you're saying.
But you're more comfortable now.
Right.
And it's almost like this weird. Weird's probably the wrong word, but it's like this mentality or this kind of mindset that you get into where you kind of stop caring what everyone thinks about you as you get older.
I think for me, a lot of that has to do with being a mom. I really do. I'm not sure I could say the same if I wasn't a parent. Me personally, I might still think that way. I might still feel that way, but I feel because my body has gone through so many changes, and it really has. Like, it has not looked the same since I was 24. It's like big, small, up, down, boob surgery, like, you know what I mean? Appendix removal. Like, there's been so much that's happened.
You've been through a lot.
I know.
Oh God.
I feel like I have women's bodies.
Oh yeah.
When they choose to carry children, it's just, sorry, I have a tag. It's really quite unbelievable. And I think that's why I'm more confident now, because I'm just like the things that I've gone through. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be standing and walking around and being healthy, you know?
Yeah.
And I think naturally you mature as humans over time. You really do. We really do. I'm certainly a lot more mature than I was when I was 20. It's just normal. I'm not going to do the thing where it's like, well, I'm older than you, so I know more, which I feel like parents used to always say. Don't you agree? Parents would always be like, well, I know best because I'm older. It's like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think I've mentally matured over the last however long. So I think I just feel more confident. So all to say, if you and I were to split up, and I think that I would still be confident within myself physically. But I was going to ask you, were you nervous when you and I first started? Like, were you nervous about your parts when you and I first got together?
There was something that I wanted to say before we got off that.
Well, we were talking about confidence in people.
Yeah, well, no, so you can ask that again, but one thing that I wanted to say before we got too far away from it is I find it super fascinating. I've talked about this a million times. You're nodding like you know what I'm going to say.
I probably do.
No, but one thing that I think it's so interesting how people, humans, come into the world and don't give a shit about anything, okay? And that's the beauty of children. They don't care what anyone thinks. They don't care about race. They don't care about penises and vagina. They don't care about anything. Like Theodore still to this day, I think he's probably starting to care a little bit, but Theodore will just whip his penis out and pee right in front of anyone. He just doesn't care. But soon...
Well, but he has to start at some point.
Yeah, well, and he will.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens. Humans get all weird about shit. It's weird. Like, you get all weird and you start being like, don't look at me, or like, what are they going to think of me? And like, you start to see it in the schoolyard. Like, when, you know, as the years progress, like I remember when I was a kid, if I was late for school, I would have anxiety about it. I would hate the fact that the teacher would have to open the door up and 32 people would look at me walk across the room. Like, if I missed the bus and my parents had to drive me, I'd literally have anxiety. Like, what? Because I have to walk into a classroom with people looking at me?
It can
like,
be intimidating.
It's just weird how people come into this world and don't care what people think, and then you do care for a giant portion of the middle of your life, and then you I think, kind of stop caring. Like a point in time comes along where you're just like, I just don't really give a fuck what anyone thinks about me. I'm going to be me, the best version of me that I can be, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
If you like me, you like me, and if not,
yeah,
kind of is what it is. That kind of thing.
For sure. I just think socially, like that's how it goes when you get people together and people start talking, and like I just think it's natural, whether it's good or bad, because I think it comes back to being influenced as well. I think it's all intertwined in a big cluster, if you will, school, going, and it's so interesting. I hear what you're saying, and I think children are very innocent.
How many people in this world do you know that don't give a shit about anything? That just truly don't care about anything?
I don't think I know any.
I know one.
Who?
I'm not saying the name.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the name.
Okay.
But I know a guy.
Why? Because it's not negative. Okay, don't say the name.
No,
sure.
I won't say a name, but like he doesn't care. And he never has about anything. Like he truly just doesn't care what anybody thinks about him at all.
And is this commendable, you believe?
Maybe in some regard, because sometimes I think that caring about the way that people perceive you and other people's feelings and things is a good thing, because it allows you to kind of like be like malleable, like I adjust my behavior in front of my grandmother as I do in front of the kids. Like it's different. But him as a person, he's the same in front of everyone. He just does not care what anyone thinks about him. He is who he is. Like I've watched this guy. I was in a car with him one time, and he ran a red light intentionally. There was no one really around. Like it wasn't too crazy that he did it, but he ran a red light because he said he hit enough of them that day. He's like, he just literally just lives life by his own rules. One of the craziest things I've ever seen, because most people, everyone I've ever met, cares about stuff and rules and like what people think about them and stuff. This guy truly doesn't care at all about anything.
Think about who it is, and I have no idea.
He was at the wedding.
So okay, yeah, all right.
And he flew in.
Oh, okay, yeah. Say no more.
And truly does not care.
Got it. I came up with this new idea with Carla over the weekend. Did you happen to see my Instagram stories this morning?
I've clicked a bunch of stuff, but
that's
naming
like
things?
I zoomed past it.
Naming stuff?
No. So I have this idea.
Oh, I heard something about it, but I didn't really pay attention. Matchmaking.
Yeah. Anyway, as it turns out, there is a matchmaker in Halifax, but that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's so many singles, but I thought, what a cool idea to get people okay, so for me, then we started talking about speed dating. I'm like, speed dating sounds stressful.
What the heck's that?
That's when you sit at a table and you literally just rotate. Like you do like 10-minute sessions, talk, and then move along to the next person.
I think it would be fantastic.
No, that to me.
I could be a speed dater.
Well, but not everybody could. And some people could find that very intimidating. You're like, okay, go, right? Like you're trying to have that quick connection. Yeah. That's not easy for everyone. So I was thinking more of like a mingle where you're not forced to necessarily blab about whatever it is right off the cuff, and you kind of fuck it up and you're like, ooh, that one was bad, right? I was thinking more of like a hangout chill session with like, let's say 25 men, 25 women, and you have to obviously go through them and like vet who wants to be there. And I mean, also, why are you smiling?
No, I've never heard of this before. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I just think it'd be fun to do a singles meetup for people in Halifax that are seriously considered being in a serious relationship. Like they're there all with the same intentions, so you don't feel awkward. You're all going to hope to have a connection with somebody.
I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Okay, well, great. And then
like now. No.
And then let's say you're playing trivia and you're all like sitting at a table, and then you like scoot around at different rounds, so you kind of get to see people in trivia and have fun and have a conversation. Then at the end, you're kind of getting up and you're like having drinks if you drink or whatever, and you're like mingling. Then by the end, because you have your name on a name tag and you're writing down people that you might be like interested in. And then at the end, you pass me all the papers and I go through, and only those that actually matched, like they both wrote down each other's names, do I like give them their information to maybe go out on a little date ski together. What do you think? What's your devil's advocate?
Well, no, I was going to say the speed dating portion of it. Mm-hmm. Here's why I think it works.
Okay.
And I've never done it. Don't know anything about it. I'm just like coming in like outside the box here.
Yep.
Does the speed dating thing does it remove any like angst or like it allows you to not overthink, and you don't get to spend too much time on one person unless they end up being really cool. Like if there's no regulations or rules around this, people are just gonna kind of stand there awkwardly and be like, so like, did you see the new Mario movie? Like when you have 10 minutes and that's it, you go in, you lay her down and like.
I disagree. You're sitting around. Do you know how entertaining trivia is? So I'm over here playing trivia. We're all having fun writing down our answers. That's an icebreaker.
You're
right
going to
there.
play trivia?
No, I will ask the questions. I'm very bad at trivia. So I'm up at the front. I'm up at the front, and there's like, 6 people per table, and you're all sitting around having fun together, and you just realize everyone's single. And then once trivia is over, at this point, everyone's in a good mood. Everyone's had a couple drinks, if you drink. Everybody's doing whatever. And then you just get up and you're all just talking. And that's it. Excuse me. And I think if you really take to somebody, maybe you guys are talking at the end and that's the person. I don't know. I think speed dating to me, it's like, okay, so tell me about yourself. Okay, bye.
That's okay though.
Okay,
I think that's okay.
Speed dating.
No, I think that forces you to just lay it out. And if you're a not lay it out type of person, then that's okay. The other person will get the read on you that you're not. And like if they can't figure out how to like, I want to say pry, but like if they can't be accommodating to that, then maybe like out of the gate it's not a match.
Yeah.
Like I think the speed thing is what moves it along a little bit.
I just feel like the non-speed thing takes less pressure off of you, and then you're going to have a fun night, and maybe you connect with somebody. Everybody in that building wants a relationship, right? So you're just going for fun. You're not like, oh my God, palms sweating, like, right? It's
So
just
you and I get hall passes?
No, we'll be the MCs, hun. That's fun enough.
Hall
passes. Yeah, but it's like, I'm here. Yeah, who are you?
So Sheridan.
Matt, yeah.
Oh my God.
Who would your hall pass be celebrity-wise if you could have one?
I don't know if I want to answer this.
Well, is it Sofia Vergara?
Oh my God, probably. I forgot about her.
You forgot about her? It's obviously not her then.
A hall pass celebrity.
Yeah, celebrity.
I got
celebrity only, Matt. Yeah. He's like, do you mean?
What did you say?
I was going to say, do you mean anyone around here in Halifax? No.
No,
Somebody
this
unattainable.
This is a really funny thing. Because Sheridan got like, I don't know, moderately. You got all butthurt about the person that I follow on Instagram and think is so friggin' hot because you found out that she only at the time had like
I have like more followers than her.
Yeah, you had more followers than her, so then you got all like mad about it because you were like
you could legit message her, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't actually care. I opened your Instagram the other day. There was a little picture of her ass, and then I just kept scrolling. I'm like, anyway.
I'd probably say.
Excuse me, before we go into that.
Look how excited I'm to answer.
Before we go into that, I just think it's annoying because if I had a picture of a guy's bare ass, we're not going to get into this either. And you're going to be like, well, it's different because girls find girls hot. So.
It is different.
Okay, anyway.
It's different.
Who would your hall pass be, hun?
Selena Smith.
Who's that? Who's Selena Smith? Is that a celebrity?
Oh, man.
Or did you just make that up?
No. She's going to regret asking this question, right?
Selena? How do you spell it? These are what's showing up for me.
Celina.
She has Instagram. That's what she is? That doesn't count.
She's a little bit of everything.
Oh, my. Who is this person?
Why do you care?
Followed by Hero ATV. Oh,
why do you care?
God.
You asked me.
You're so annoying.
Oh, my God.
Let's go see if Matt's double tapped any. Matt's like, I was careful not to double.
Oh, I've been doubling.
Matt, you're...
Oh, my. Sheridan, you asked. I said I didn't want to answer it.
Oh, yeah.
No, you were. This was only funny to you if it was like Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, she's so cute. So what if you asked me and I just said some hottie and you found him on Instagram?
That's what you're gonna say anyway.
No, I'm not.
Who would your hall pass be?
I don't even know. I'd have to think on it. I don't just want to say someone so quickly. Someone who you know. I can't believe how quickly you knew. Yeah, Selena Smith. She even has your last name, huh?
No, I wanted to say it quick just to get you going.
Oh, I bet.
I just wanted to try you.
Well, now I'm at a standstill. So is there anything you'd like to talk about?
Yeah,
it's like, fuck, it's on me now? Sheridan just keeps the flow of the conversation. What was I going to write about?
Oh, my God, Sheridan.
Oh, my God.
I did it intentionally just to get you going. I want nothing to do with her.
Yes. Okay. Oh, my.
Yeah, opens Instagram followed by hero.
You're such a dork.
You know what, though, Sheridan?
What, hon?
You are so beautiful. No, you're all the
Not
things.
test tube
You're all the
beautiful,
things.
though, right?
You're all the things I love in a woman. You really are. If you actually look at her and then look at you, you pretty much look the same.
Do you hear that, guys? You pretty much look the same.
She's Caucasian.
Oh my! Yeah, that's it. That's about it. And
No, you two. I would say you two look similar. Dark hair, roundish faces, giant boobs, long legs,
Hun.
beautiful smile, funny.
Funny, like you've ever heard her?
Yeah,
Oh, she's funny.
she's super funny.
Oh, good.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Hun.
So I'm gonna start collecting Pokemon cards.
No, you're not.
Okay.
And that's a stupid conversation you're just trying to make up for. Why would you collect Pokemon cards?
No, I was just a joke because the other day you were like trying to wrap your head around how anyone cared about them. Weren't we talking about like Paige Van Zandt or something like that and her man? And they were like opening cards or something like that?
Right.
And you couldn't believe that card collecting was a thing.
I just can't believe how excited people get. It doesn't make sense to me. It's just a card. I don't get it.
But it means something to somebody.
I just don't understand.
Jordan, you get excited about buying rugs.
But that's something that like looks pretty and you like use it. Or like people that like purses or shoes, like you wear them or you hold them in like an outfit, like a card just in a room. It's so confusing to me.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I just have a hard time understanding the card situation or like the collectors of.
But there's only a finite amount of them. Like those old Pokemon cards, like that one there that Logan Paul had made into the chain. What do you say? There's 2 or 3 of them in the world?
I guess
There's only 2 or 3. So if you have one, there's only 1 or 2 of you on Earth. Like that's pretty cool.
the only like thing that I could compare it to is the Beanie Babies, because I used to love the Beanie Babies, and those are like collector
What are those
items
again?
now.
Are those little things with the like T
The heart,
eyes on
yes.
the side? Yeah.
And like those now, if you've had them for an eternity, like they count,
Oh, yeah.
they count for something. And I could see, because I love stuffies, right? Like I always loved stuffies. So I guess I could kind of relate to it in that way, but I don't think I'd have like a room full of like stuffies like in a box. But maybe, but I get it.
I think it becomes a thing. I think it becomes a thing where it gives them like a sense of belonging to something.
Oh.
Like, you know, you go when you're talking about these little like couples hangouts things, or
Right.
like the singles mingles
Yes.
or whatever the frick you called it. Like, imagine going to a place where everyone collects hats, or like everyone collects Pokemon cards. Something you go there and geek out and trade and sell, and like
Yep.
you go in the forums online or YouTube videos or shit, and everyone knows who you are because you're the guy that collects and has like it's just like a purpose of some sort.
Yep.
And I love people that have a purpose.
Yeah.
Have a thing. You know this.
I do.
The Instagram post that I just put up this morning, where it says like, don't die at 25 and be buried at 70.
Mm-hmm.
And like to live while you're alive is like one of my biggest things. And it's like just having a thing that gives you purpose and gets you excited to get up every day is so important, I think.
So what's your purpose?
I think I have a whole bunch of them. I have so many hobbies that it's almost ridiculous. But I love that. I love having a thing. Like, I look around at some of my contemporaries and there's like nothing, they don't do anything. I'm like, I think it's crazy. I'm almost 38. I turned 38 this month.
Wow.
I'm almost 40, bud.
I've known you since you were 28.
Crazy. You've known me since I was 28. And it's funny because you used to call me Gramps when I was 28.
I did. Because I was
28.
24. Matt and I are 4
Man.
years apart.
That's
for a couple
actually 28 years old.
I know.
I was just a young guy.
I know.
Man, you look at old photos of me, my freaking face is so chiseled and everything. Just a stud. Just a stallion.
You're still very attractive, man.
Thanks, babe. No, but, you know, like there's a big UFC event on this Saturday. I will be up watching it. I never miss a UFC event. I've seen every single one forever. Like even in Dominican Republic, I'm waking up and making sure I watch my fights on Saturday. Like I never miss it. Like the playoffs are on right now. I kind of like took a liking to hockey again this year. Like I've been like really into the playoffs. Go Leafs go. Hope they win the cup. Blah blah. Going 4-wheeling on Saturday with all my friends. Can't wait to do that. Like I'm gonna be like planting a garden in the backyard. Like mom's gone to go pick up the Virginia creeper vines. Like I enjoy doing that. I enjoy building things. I enjoy getting out with the kids and being and hiking and like I collect hats. I don't know. Like I turn the PlayStation on every now and then and like play video games.
This is Matt's whole Rolodex, guys.
No, but it's just like I have stuff to do. I'm never like when I remember like I don't hear it too often anymore because everyone's busy working shit. But when people are like, I'm bored, it's like bored, bored. What?
But we all
I
have
haven't been bored ever. I don't think I've ever said I'm bored.
Right.
I don't think.
So, a question: if you had all the money, well, not all the money in the world, if you were financially stable and you didn't need to do your job, would you still do it, or would you do?
Yeah, I would, but differently. Like right now, you know, Tim and I were pretty fortunate. I'm over here literally playing with the nipples on the cup. I just caught myself. I was over here like going around. Sure, I was like, I know just those motions. Just Selena. Oh my God. So like Tim and I have been super fortunate. You know, we started our company I think like 7 years ago now. To work with people that we want to work with. Like it's kind of always been our thing. Like I wouldn't say brash, but we're like, we are who we are kind of thing with the image of our company and the work that we do and everything. And like we tend to work with people that we really want to work with. Yeah. But I think if $1 billion just rained from the sky,
$1 billion, wow.
I think what I would do is I would still create. It's it's in my DNA to create things, but I think I would do it more for like non-for-profit kind of stuff. Like I think I would just go around like creating companies and handing the keys to people kind of thing. Like I really like building ideas. I've never really found a way to monetize that. Like I think I could go into companies in the early stages of their like ideation phases and come up with like all kinds of ideas and just get paid for my time there. That's a thing. I know. I like a consulting kind of thing. Yeah. I just don't know how to do it. Like oftentimes we just kind of give it out for free. We're like sit down and jam on things. It's like, man, that was $1 million idea I just gave you right there. Like I'm really good at like that kind of like foundational idea stuff. Yeah. What would you do?
Not what I do now.
Would you not?
I don't know. I don't want to say that like I don't like my job, but I think the more I think about it and you know, I say this, but then you're going to say, well, just be grateful for what you have and like strike while the iron's hot. And I understand that. But I think if I didn't have to, you know, post advertisements and do that for a living, which I guess technically I don't, but I don't think I would. No, I don't think I would do it. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm feeling kind of stagnant lately. I mean, this does happen after I do a big series of giveaways. The same thing at Christmas. I do my 12 days of giveaways. And then I don't really have my thinking cap on because I'm just posting giveaways for 12 days. Yeah. And then I just did the same thing with the staycations. And I'm so thankful that I can do that. And I love that I can give people a staycation and they're so grateful. And I'm very happy about that. But I find it kind of just sets me off a little bit. And then I'm like, don't know what to create. And I also feel like at this point with Instagram, I think a lot of people are really finding a niche, whether that be Amazon finds, Amazon travel finds, mid-size fashion, DIY home stuff. Like they're very like focused in on one thing, which I think is great. And it certainly like attracts more people to their page because they know what they're getting. Yeah. And they stand for something. Well, it's not even standing. Like, what do you stand for? An Amazon find? Yeah, no, but they put their stake in the ground and say like, this is what I do. I do home renovations. That's exactly. You're not going to come here and see like giveaways for the latest yes. Anyway, you get my lemonade point. At McDonald's. It's But yeah, and that's not even it. Like I don't mind the ads that I'm doing because I believe in all the things that I'm promoting. I'm talking like beyond that, like the other things. I just find sometimes I'm like, what am I? And I think if anything, what I do and what I provide to my community is just like relatability, like honest motherhood.
No, you're over there wondering why I'm smiling like you always do.
No, but just like and like I kind of try to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you're a generalist.
And I think that's why, I don't know why we're talking about my job, but here we go. I think that's why my followers are very genuine and engage with my content, because they feel like they know me. But I think it makes it hard for people to find you and to grow, which I don't really care about, but because I'm not focusing on anything really. And so I don't know, like right now I'm just kind of over Instagram. And unfortunately, when that happens, I still have to do my work, just like how people still show up for jobs, and have to go and clock in, clock out. And then, you know, it doesn't necessarily look like work when I'm posting things that aren't paid partnerships, but it feels like work to me because I still have to take the content, right? Like I'm still taking pictures. I'm still like if I did a mid-sized fashion reel right now, it would take me all afternoon. Even though I'm not getting paid for it, I'm like helping my followers. You know what I mean? Like throwing that out there. I
hate the word followers.
I know.
You should really get rid of it in your vocabulary.
And say what?
My community
it
or
literally
my friends.
says following on your
I know,
Instagram.
It's just such a weird thing. My followers,
Yeah,
like I am the leader. It's such a
Yeah.
weird
Yeah, I
freaking
don't like
word.
it either.
Like it makes sense within the application, but
Right.
like in the real world
Community,
saying
you're
my
right.
fault, it's such a stupid
Yes, it's
thing
my
to say.
community. Yeah.
I mean, every time you say it, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah,
It's just
know.
like weird.
I know, and it is. It's a community, and I love every. I was gonna say everybody that follows me, but I love my community and what I've.
Yeah, you have a good one,
and I'm really proud of it. And I think it's really cool that we've been able to do a spinoff here with the podcast, and people have really gotten to know us. The people that actually like take that extra mile to get to know us, and I really love that a lot. And I'm proud of that, and I like that I have that. I just think right now I'm just kind of like, you know, and I'm sure you can see it too in my content because
this happens in everyone's life.
No, I know, but like, you know, I just, I don't know. And then I feel like I'm pushing content out that I'm not overly proud of because I don't love it. I'm just kind of doing it because I have to, you know, and a lot of times, like, I feel like people really appreciate when we talk about our relationship on Instagram. And they can kind of understand, especially because you and I, we are very similar in a lot of ways, but like in our love languages and stuff like this, like we definitely differ. And I think people are like, oh, okay, we're not the only ones that like have a hard time parenting and finding time and, you know, all the things that I talk about.
Yeah.
But I hate asking you to take a picture, to do a reel or whatever, because you already helped me so much with the sponsored stuff. So I'm just on a little tangent right now, but at this moment in time, I'm just feeling kind of like, blah, you know?
But that's how every creator feels.
I know.
We all go through it.
Right.
Like our good buddy Matt, Halifax Drifter. It's like I talked to him on a pretty frequent basis, and he had this lull a little while ago where he just couldn't really make anything. He was just like felt stagnant. We all feel that. Like I feel that way probably in my like creative rotation of life. Probably like. Oh, I would say like every 2 months I get in like a dark place creatively, and I'm just like, I suck, and I suck so bad. Like I can't do, like, am I even good? And then like right now I'm feeling kind of hot, fiery now. I'm like,
that's good.
I'm feeling good again because you know what? Here's what happened to me the other day.
Okay.
I've decided, and I've decided this a bunch of times, and then it withers away.
By
but
the
like,
way, can you look at what's on my view?
oh, Sheridan. Oh my God. Let's talk about the Crocs after. It's a whole like 10-minute.
No,
we
but
can have
did you
around
see
that.
the songs? Okay, anyway, go ahead.
No, but what was I gonna say?
Sorry.
No, it's just
Creative
I
rat.
think it almost ties back to what we were saying like half an hour ago about like when you come into this world and you don't really care what people think, and you just kind of do it for yourself, kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm sort of at this spot right now where I'm gonna go back to like doing me online and just like creating things for the sake of creating things and enjoying them and sharing them with the world because I enjoy it, rather than like trying to conform to the stupid algorithm and like, you gotta get something up, it's gotta be a reel, blah, 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 I use trending audio, blah, 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 use all your, like, I put my thing up again today, no hashtags. I just don't care. I just don't care.
I hear what you're saying.
Now, I'll care in a month, but.
No, but I can't do that. I don't have the flexibility of doing that. I have
yes,
to
you
care.
do. Yes,
no,
you,
no.
yes, you do. Yeah, you do.
No, I
Yeah, you
have
do.
to care.
I'll tell you
my
why.
engagement matters.
Yes.
When I send my insights in, it all
Yes.
matters a lot.
I'll tell you why it doesn't need to, though.
Sure.
You don't feel, okay. I'm trying to think of I'm going to wrap this all up for you.
Okay. And a nice little bow.
Your work right now isn't the best work I've seen you do. It's not. I find the shit that you've been doing for the last while isn't very good. No, I'm serious. I think you're lacking inspiration, you're lacking guidance, and you don't know what to do. You're seeing all the other people in your communities, amongst like all the other people that do what you do in this city and are like relatively close to you. They've all ventured off and have a niche. You have been left behind. You don't have a thing. You don't really have a thing. You're a generalist. You're just kind of making shit for everybody. That you got a dog, like
Hey.
you got a dog. No, you got like you. If you want to, throws as many eggs down. If you want to, you could become a dog person. You could like lean in on the dog stuff and talk about like how amazing Lloyd's doing with his training and like all your best strategies for how to do it. Lloyd is like, what is he, like 13 weeks old? And I've never seen a better dog. He is so well mannered, such an incredible dog. How'd you do it? That could be content. You have this show, which like really honestly like lacks promotion. Like you have some rental property stuff that we like design. You've kind of haven't talked about that. We spent 300 million hours in the backyard working on our backyard and installed a pool and everything else and did it all by hand, me and you. You haven't said a word about it. More of your people, your community, talk to me about what's going on in the backyard and they say, what the hell is going on back there? Sheridan hasn't said anything. It's weird. You don't talk about anything. You would rather sit there and have the picture perfect, like little family thing and make sure that the photos are all like curated properly and everything than just being a raw, authentic person. And I think it holds you back. I've said it 100 billion times. Stop caring about perfection with your stupid feed and be you. You do interesting shit all the time and never talk about it. You saw Super Mario last night. Did you like it? No one knows. You didn't talk about it.
But that's...
You went to Miami. Have you talked about it? You haven't said a word on the show about it. Nothing.
On the show or on
Anything.
my Instagram?
You just do things but don't talk about it. But that's what people are there for.
But there's this hard thing that I'm trying to do where I also just want to live. I don't want to pop on and talk about my everyday to day. That's just not who I am.
That's all anyone cares about, Sheridan. Because you're a generalist, you have to. If all you talked about, like the Wild DeChellis have veered off. The Wild DeChellis used to do what you do. They were generalists and doing the family thing. They had a Rob with his tattooed hands, kind of big burly dude doing the cook thing, and Katie doing the kind of mommy thing and all that shit. You don't even see the family anymore. They've completely veered off into doing the home stuff, and good for them. They found a niche.
So what do you think I need to veer off and do?
I think if you're not going to veer, then you better pull the curtains back and show the family for what it really is. I think you talk about the backyard. Why is
the backyard so hot and heavy for you?
Buddy, it's all we've done for the last 8 months. Yeah. Everyone's like, Matt, where have you been? And my response is, I've been like literally bleeding from my hands working in our backyard. Right. Not one time, even though you work with Home Depot and work with Kent and all these companies, not one time have you been like, hashtag Home Depot, my husband uses DeWalt tools and breaks his back in our backyard building this shit. And why? It's weird to me. You don't actually show anyone what goes on in our life.
So now are you going to circle it up with a bow that you think my work is also still great? Or
not really. I think you're lacking creativity right now. And I think it's because you overthink it. Sheridan, your community loves you. You have real, authentic people that keep toxicity away from you. You don't have toxic people around you because you are who you are. Give people more of who you are. You went to see Mario last night. I'll bring that up again. Like, that movie was so dope. You didn't even, like, say I'm with Carla going to see this and I'm at Moxie's. Like, people love hearing about what you're up to.
I don't know about that. I think maybe sometimes I second guess it, being like, who really cares? And if another picture of me at Moxie's and me going to Super Mario, like, nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Why was the Mario movie good?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, it was nostalgic. It was funny.
But why was the Super Mario movie good to you? Tell me a little bit more about it.
What are you doing?
Because if you're going to be a generalist and all you actually are online is the type person that dabbles in a bunch of things, and you have to like strip the layers of it back a little bit. But the thing is,
I don't think I dabble in a bunch of little things. I think I talk a lot about motherhood, marriage, and fashion. That's what I think.
Keep talking. Give me
What,
10.
because you're going to go up onto my Instagram? You'll see a whole bunch of ads, hon.
Oh, it's a lot of ads right now. But like it, I don't know, babe. I don't know if I'm just telling you straight up. If you're lacking creativity and you're lacking
also have
guidance,
to keep in mind too, like on the back end, of course, nobody sees this except for me, but I see this content do, this concept do, this content do, this concept do. Like it's a lot. It
is.
And then it's like, oh, but let's also think of things that aren't sponsored. And it's just, I'm just venting for a moment.
Yeah,
so let me vent.
And no, but I'm the perfect person to vent to because I get you, plus I get your work. So like the best ad that you've done in the last probably year was your stuff for Klarna. The Klarna ads were hilarious.
The Dove one was good too.
Yeah, and the Dove one, you know why those were good? Because they're real and you weren't afraid to show like what it's actually like in our house. You have a husband that literally forgets our anniversary because I'm too busy doing other shit. Right. Like that's hilarious to people. Our dynamic is what people are actually here for. That's why we have a show that we don't promote that still garners thousands of downloads on podcast app and shit. We don't even promote the show, and it literally gets a couple thousand downloads each time. Yeah, because people enjoy this dynamic, and when you don't show them that, then people are just gonna fade away. Like that Klarna ad was so good because it had an idea in it, and like all this stuff right now, like you did a McDonald's one a little while ago where you went into Antoine Daphne's backyard and I was like pushing the kids. That was friggin' hilarious because there was an idea in it, and it's an idea that's true to who you are. So I don't know. I think you just need to go back to just being the best version of you creatively and like being who you are.
Matt, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying right now I'm in a bit of a rut. That's what I'm saying.
So make a good ad. And
it's not just about the ads like, too, though.
Like even this morning when I saw that you were in the parking lot talking to the camera for a minute, this is probably going to sound so douchey to people. They're going to be like, no one actually cares. But like people actually do, I think. When I opened Instagram up somewhere and saw you parked and talking, I didn't listen because I was busy working, but I was like, oh, that's refreshing. Sheridan's back on a camera for a minute. Instead of just the same shit and ads every day. Like, go on and talk to people. Go on and do a review of the Mario movie. It's incredible.
Why are you so into the
Because you did that last night, and you went to Miami, and you haven't even really talked about why Miami's bomb.
It was Fort Lauderdale.
Same thing.
But yes, you're right.
The Mario movie, I saw it as well a few weeks ago. It's bomb. If you haven't seen it yet, take your kids. It's freaking awesome. It's like one of my favorite things in the whole movie was like there was a couple things, but there was one shot. Do you remember right near the beginning when they were running to get to the job?
That was incredible.
And the camera went to like side view when they were like sliding under the ladders and jumping over the sewers and everything. Man, that was so cool because it was like, it felt like a Mario game for me.
I also loved that they played on the brothers a lot. Like it was like a brother situation. That was really cool. I was in tears laughing when Bowser was singing the piano, like actually tears. It was really well done. I really enjoyed it. I also appreciated at the end how they were in their world, like in the Toad world. Like they didn't go back to Brooklyn. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed everything about that movie. I was smiling ear to ear. I could see and there was no children in the movie. It was just adults because it's nostalgic for us, right? Like we played the game and you know Donkey Kong was my game growing up. All I played was Donkey Kong. I didn't really play Mario.
I thought you owned a Sega.
Donkey Kong was on Sega.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it
was. Donkey
was.
Kong's an Nintendo. No.
Yes, it was.
No. Unless I'm crazy, Donkey Kong only came out.
Unless I played it on Game Boy. Is that possible? I never owned a Super Nintendo. Oh, but we owned a PlayStation. Would it have been on PlayStation? Well, you can look into it.
Oh, weird.
What?
Maybe it was.
I was going to say,
Donkey Kong.
I played Donkey Kong. Like, I played it. So that one was fun for me because I was like, oh my gosh, I can relate with all the barrels and stuff. Like, Donkey Kong was my jam.
I'm confused. I'm getting like conflicted things here.
Anyway, it's not that important, Matt. But you should definitely go and see it. And I can't believe it, but Matt went with Kaya and Theo without me. Devastating. But you told me that Theo actually managed to pretty much sit through the movie.
Yeah, mostly.
And now I can, after seeing it, I'm like, I could see why, because it's pretty much action packed the whole time. Like there's never really like a boring moment. So I could see why he liked it. So yeah, you should go and see it. And I feel like this episode was 100% all over the place, from penises to Instagram, to Matt's crush, to him giving me a little, motivational. I'm not sure if that's the word speech about my Instagram.
So near the end of every episode, I'll like I've said this probably on everyone. I have like a list of stuff to talk about. I think you do too. And a lot of them get skimmed over and never actually get touched. I have like all this stupid stuff.
Right.
And some of it like dates pretty quick because it's like, oh, that was cool 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
but we didn't bring it up, blah,
For
blah.
sure.
I have a line in there that says the power of visualization. And I never actually talked about it, I don't think. Maybe I have. But do you know what that means? The power of visualization?
I imagine like if you see something in your future, you can make it happen. That's just what I'm assuming.
Yeah. Okay. I think, and I've said this my whole life, I think it's really important to imagine the best things for yourself. Like if there's something that you really truly want in this life, you have to believe you're going to get there and imagine yourself with it or doing it or experiencing it. And like, if you really, truly, truly believe it'll happen, if you really believe in your core that it's possible and it's doable and you imagine it all the time, it will come to fruition. It just will. And it's not magic. It just means that like, when you visualize things and embrace it and truly know that you can do it, it almost like subconsciously starts like manifesting into reality because you start taking baby steps to achieve these things. So like the only reason that I'm bringing this up right now is A, I saw it in my little list there, and B, I think it ties into you being like bummed out with your work and stuff right now. Just visualize doing better work. And then you will like think about all the fun things that we're doing and have going on and everything, and it will happen. It will come to reality. And you're over there looking at me like, yeah, Matt's talking.
No.
It's so important.
No,
Sheridan.
I actually think that you've kind of been like that since we even met. I remember you always saying
my
like,
whole life.
You said, you kind of worded like this: if I want something, I get something, is what you said.
Every time.
And you feel like you've kind of, like, I even remember this house. When you first looked at it, you're like, we're getting that house. And I was like, how? And you're like, we'll get it. I know we will, so we will. And I feel like you've kind of done that with a lot of things in your life. And I guess you're right for you. I mean, a lot of it has come true. Yeah.
Everything.
Right.
Like even putting the Defender in the driveway, like being able to amass what it would take to get a Can-Am Defender Lone Star Max Limited. It's like at one point that was like not a chance we're getting that thing.
Yeah.
It's out there and I use it all like working for myself. Like the clients that Tim and I have garnered over the last 7 years, like all that stuff. Like to think that I was a kid that relatively came from nothing. There was no handouts in my life. There was nothing. I was just a kid with a dream coming out of high school that I loved art and wanted to pursue it. And then look at me now, turning 38 years old, and there's really nothing I haven't accomplished. There's almost nothing on my list other than like going to Thailand,
Touching Selena's boobs.
some Selena boobage. Like, and here's the thing, it has to be realistic because then you're going to get people that are like, well, I really want to fly to Jupiter. It's like, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
And you know it and I know it and we all know it. But like things that are actually attainable, and if you truly believe it, you can do it. And everyone listening to this can do it. And I think it's such an important thing to live by. And like I know a few months ago we got that message from that woman that was like, she said she quit her job and took a leap of faith because she got like inspired by something we said. And like this show is this show, and we've kind of let it like fall off the rails a little bit and whatever. Like we're
back.
We both talk about how we really enjoy doing it. And it's one of these things, we haven't made a penny from this show. We're not, we've probably spent 1,000 hours working on this show in the last year, and it hasn't like on the surface given us one penny. Okay, on the surface, I'm sure deep down, it's like we've created deeper relationships with people that we don't even know, that maybe full circle will hire me to do something in a year or something.
For sure.
But like, we're not getting anything from this.
No.
We're literally just doing this for fun and to put stuff out there. And like the fact that there was one person out there that we actually changed her life enough to take a leap and chase a dream, that's enough for me to be like, that was worth it, because that's freaking cool. Like when I was visualizing what we could do with this show, it was just that.
Yeah.
Inspiring people to like have fun and live their life. Live while you're alive.
Love that, babe.
All right.
We'll end it on that. Like,
Sheridan's over there yawning. And
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Let's go have a chicken salad sandwich. Talk about who your hall pass is going to be.
I love you.
Love you too, baby.
Bye.
Like and subscribe. Do it.
It's the Two Gems Podcast.